Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. 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 Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hope you're well. Today we're going to hear from our beloved Bhakta Bandhav Srila Gurudeva from an old katha, vintage, 1994. In Mathura, in the summer, Srila Gurudeva was speaking with different senior devotees in ISKCON who would come to him regularly and hear from him for some years, in the 80s and the early 90s, especially the leading members of society. So, welcome to this broadcast. We're going to start our broadcast today with chanting of the Mahamantra. This chanting of the Mahamantra is the most important daily sadhana, daily practice, along with hearing hari-katha. So we're trying to pack together all our bhakti program, essential bhakti program, in this live stream and in this recording for our friends and devotees who are requesting me to do this, for supporting our projects in different places in the world where people are requesting this for their daily nourishment. So we'll chant one round japa together. We'll try to start our programs like this, right? To meditate on the holy name, the power of chanting the holy name in sadhu sangha. First we begin with chanting Panchatattva, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasadi, Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We pray for the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Shri Gadadhar Pandit, Shri Vas Pandit, Shri Advaita Acharya, for their mercy that we can develop taste in chanting the holy names. In the Shastras it is said that by chanting the holy names, our success in spiritual life becomes guaranteed. By chanting the holy names, by serving the Vaishnavas. This is Mahaprabhu's recipe for perfection. Nirantar Karo Nam Sankirtan, always engage in Nam Sankirtan. That means chanting, doing kirtan, and preaching. Distributing books, publishing books, this is all Nam Sankirtan. Our Gurudev wrote, this is the same as Nam Sankirtan. Anyone who doesn't believe book publication is not Nam Sankirtan does not know the mood of Lord Nityananda and Mahaprabhu and their desire, especially as coming from Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, who said Nam Sankirtan means Riha Mridanga, book publication and distribution of this message through all modern technology, like we are doing now. This is all Nam Sankirtan. And Vaishnav Sevan, serve the devotees. So for me, this is one way I'm trying to serve, by helping maintain devotees' enthusiasm and by practicing some sadhu sangha together, even if it is virtually. The power of the holy name is that wherever we are chanting. So that is purifying that atmosphere around us. But this is helping us develop some enthusiasm together. Right? That we may be in different areas in the world, but we are one here in this moment chanting Harinam. Yes? It's beautiful. As this program develops, we'll be all in different areas of the world, but together we're doing Nam Sankirtan, chanting japa together. Okay? So we're praying at the lotus feet of Harinam Prabhu. Then we'll do this drop around, and then we will discuss Srila Gurudev's Katha. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna. Okay, Dandavat Pranam. So it's recommended for new aspiring devotees to chant at least one round japa, and it's Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So chant audibly, so we can hear with our own ears. There's three kinds of japa. One is loudly chanting, Achik japa. One is softly chanting, Upangsu japa. This is what is generally counted as our chanting, softly. And then there's manasik, in the mind. Our Haridas Thakur, who is Namacharya, he would chant 3 lakhs Harinam daily, which is 300,000 names of the Lord. In terms of these beads, this would be approximately 196 rounds a day. Therefore, he is called Namacharya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended to chant 1 lakh Harinam daily, 100,000 names, if one wants to develop pure love of God very rapidly. I know our Vaishnav leader in Vrindavan, or Pujapad Sivaratna Premananda Prabhuji, chants 2 lakh Harinam daily since many years. He says someone asked him, how do I quickly develop pure Krishna consciousness? He said, you can chant 3 lakhs Harinam a day within 16 years, develop pure love of God. Chant 2 lakh Harinam every day within 24, maybe 32 years. 1 lakh Harinam a day, then in this life. But there are different levels according to our eligibility. We should chant in a way that is, we develop taste. Taste and chanting comes when we hear about Krishna, develop attraction for sweet pastimes of Krishna, and greed for the association and service of Sri Krishna, the guidance of his eternal beloveds. This is how we develop taste. Therefore, in our program here, we will have japa. When you chant for a long time, you can even chant while you're inhaling in your mind. Sometimes Vaishnavas will do that. You may chant 4 or 5 Mahamantras. For example, I've seen this from the Vaishnavas teach this for like a meditation practice in the japa. You inhale deeply. And if you're very slowly, deeply inhaling, then you can, in your mind, chant 1 Mahamantra. As long as you can utter the syllables in your mind, it's the same way we do our Gayatri mantras, even without moving your tongue. Mentally, you speak the words by the power of your mind. So this can be done. This is one technique. But generally it's recommended that some rounds you should chant loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To chant audibly, we can hear the holy names, because the process of hearing is very important. So the holy names come through the ears. We hear the sound. So we're performing, hearing, and chanting simultaneously. We're chanting silently, and then we're chanting. In Hari Bhakti Vilas by Srila Sanatana Goswami, it's described in different places. The power of loudly chanting is 100 times greater, because all the other living entities in the air or in the environment here are benefited. So by helping others, Krishna is very pleased with our effort. He gives so much mercy, and we develop sukriti, or pious merits, which we can advance in spiritual life. Sukriti helps us develop understanding of what we hear, relationship to sadhus, association of sadhus. So this hearing is very important, and helping others hear. So that's loud chanting. But we can also chant softly, like Hare Krishna. Okay. And if we chant a lot of rounds, Vaishnavas who regularly chant 1 lakh Harinam, then they also chant every moment, breathing in, breathing out, softly in the mind, loud. This is one of the symptoms of a Madhyam Vaishnava, is that they're always thinking of Krishna and they're always chanting Krishna's names, either internally or externally. Their daily activities are always somehow or other absorbed in Krishna. So Madhyam Vaishnavas are always absorbed in Krishna consciousness. How? They're either performing devotional service, some form of spiritual activity in the service of Sri Krishna, or they are chanting or hearing or speaking about Krishna, taking Krishna prasadam, preparing some service for Krishna, always absorbed in Krishna. So we develop bhakti in that way. So this process of Nam Japa is very integral to the practice, the life of a Gaudiya Vaishnava. There's a verse, beautiful verse about Mahaprabhu. Jaya Navadvipa Navapradhipa Prabhava Pasanda Gajaika Singha Svanama Sankhya Japa Sutradhari Chaitanya Chandra Bhagavan Murari. Jaya Navadvip, all glories to the 9 islands. Navadvip, where Mahaprabhu appeared in Mayapur. 8 islands surrounding Mayapur like petals of a lotus. They're all like 9 effulgent lamps showing us, guiding us towards perfection of life, relationship with Krishna. Prabhava Pasanda, by the illumination of these lamps, the elephant-like atheists are defeated. How? Because Chaitanya Chandra is like a great lion. Mahaprabhu is like a great lion. And what is he doing? Svanama Sankhya Japa Sutradhari. He's counting on beads while chanting the names of Krishna. His own names. But what names? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is our process. Alright, so with that introduction complete, we're here for 20-30 minutes, hari-katha. This is our bhakti program. So this is a very interesting discussion now. I was searching for pastimes, home of Radha Mataji, her mother. Yes, I wanted to hear pastimes of Sri Krishna, so I searched in Gurudev's archive. And a very nice lecture came, which is from the summer of 1994 in Mathura. And it talks about something that sometimes devotees feel, which is, we call it imposter syndrome in the West. Oh, I'm teaching people, I'm trying to preach to people about Krishna consciousness, and am I qualified or not, and am I practicing enough or not, and am I bona fide? How can I convince people to practice Krishna consciousness if I'm not fully Krishna conscious? So the devotees asking this to Gurudev, they said, in ISKCON, I am pretending to be a senior devotee, an older devotee. But here in your Sangha, I see that I am junior to the juniors. I am just at the very beginning of bhakti. So they had joined the mat in Mathura, and even the newest devotees who had been there for a couple of years were very beautifully speaking hari-katha, absorbed in so much seva, doing so many bhajans. Gurudev had a training center in Mathura. So in Gurudev's training center, everyone quickly became trained and expert. All varieties of devotional activities. We have to understand the balance of there's a training center and then there's outreach. You get trained and then you go and you preach. Swami Prabhupada engaged everyone very quickly in the preaching activity because it was so vital, so important. Gurudev in Keshaji Gaudiya Mat, he preached powerfully everywhere. From the beginning of his life in the Mat, when Gurudev joined the Mat in 1947, that same year he went out preaching. That same year, we went out with different brahmacharis and sadhus. They went village to village. Same year. So Gurudev was always doing like this. But then Gurudev had been practicing already for, at this point, going on 45 years. More than 45 years. So he had a training center there in Keshaji Gaudiya Mat since 1954. So already for about 35, 40 years, he had a preaching center there. And he would train devotees to be very staunch practitioners of Bhakti Yoga. Very staunch, very powerful. So this is a new devotee to Gurudev, but a senior devotee to the Prabhupada Society. Gurudev was very affectionate. He said, "You are my little, dear, darling daughter." This lady was, middle-aged, I imagine, senior devotee. But Gurudev said you have taken birth only 2 or 3 days ago. Why should you have taken spiritual initiation? It's our birthday. When is your birthday? We take Harinam and Diksha mantras. It's our spiritual birth. In Vedic culture, this is called Dvija, second birth, or in Western culture, this is called baptism, my birthday. So the devotee said, I feel like I'm going back and forth between a pretend situation and a real situation. I'm wondering if I should keep going back and forth with the make-believe situation, or should I concentrate more on the real situation, which is that I'm not really a teacher or a guide. Gurudev responded, you are a senior Vaishnav, an actual Vaishnav. Gurudev's response is, you are an actual Vaishnav, senior Vaishnav. But there are different levels of Vaishnavas. We should remember this and understand, and therefore develop honor for more advanced Vaishnavas and desire for their guidance and association. But at the same time, those same Vaishnavas encourage us to help spread the message of Krishna consciousness, because everyone is suffering in the forest fire of material existence. So with whatever means we have, we should try to help that condition, while also ourselves receiving help. So at every level of Vaishnavism, sadhu sangha is essential. Association of devotees, more advanced than ourselves. This is the prescribed method of advancement in Krishna consciousness. Our Srila Swami Prabhupada said, there's the famous story of Bharat Maharaj. He was a great sage before he was the king of India, and India became named after him, Bharat. And in his elderly years, he retired from the kingdom to practice spiritual life in the forest. And he came up to the highest state you can achieve practically in this human form, bhav. Yet, before he gave up his life, he became attached to a deer. He was always thinking of the deer and embracing the deer and feeding the deer. And the deer left him. Why? To live with a deer. And when he was dying on his deathbed, he was calling out and thinking of the deer. In his next life, he became a deer. It's described in the Bhagavatam and described in the Gita, both prominent authoritative scriptures. Yang vapi swanam bhavam tajatyante kalevaram tam tamavaiti kunteya siratad bhava bhavata. What you contemplate at the time of death, you can achieve a similar form like that. So if at the time of death you're embracing your cat, become a cat, if you're thinking of the cat. So we try to think about Krishna, and Krishna says, if you remember me, at the time of death, you come to my eternal abode. This is our process. So we're preparing for that. However, Swami Prabhupada said, if Bharat Maharaj had a Shiksha Guru with him, he would have never fallen down. He was living alone. Oh, I can do everything alone. I don't need association. I don't need guidance. He had a Shiksha Guru. He said, what are you doing developing this attachment to a deer? You're going to die. You came in the forest to do spiritual life. You left your kingdom behind. You're now a monk, renunciant. Don't be attached to anything in this world. It's something Gurudev would say. He would say, I have affection for everyone, but attachment for no one. It's the reality. Attachment for everyone? No. Affection for everyone. Attachment to no one. Attachment to my Gurudev, Vaishnavas who are helping me, and Krishna. Service of Srimati Radhika, Lord Chaitanya. It's our attachment. Shri Guru Charane Rati Ese Uttama Gati Je Prashadhe Pure Sarva Asha. Shri Guru Charane Rati. Rati should have attraction and attachment. Shakti. Attachment for the lotus feet of Shri Guru and Vaishnavas. Their mercy gives you the highest reward. Je Prashade Pure Sarva Ash. By their mercy we can Pure have the fruition of all of our spiritual desires. So, how can we teach without a teacher? How can we guide without being guided? When we are self-realized souls, ourselves on the highest platform, Uttam, highest levels of Vaishnavas, then we ourselves have internal connection with Krishna and also with the associates of Krishna that we're under the shelter of. Then we're under their guidance. So even the pure devotees in Krishna Lila, they have their jut, their group that they serve in. So the Gaudiya Vaishnavism. We are aspiring for the service of Mother Yashoda and Krishna, and we are under the guidance of Mother Yashoda and her associates. We are desiring for the service of Srimati Radhika as her maidservant, and we'll be under the guidance of different groups of the 8 principal gopis, the Lalita Devi's group, Vishakha Devi's group, and so forth. And not just directly to them, but Rupa, Rati, Lavanga, Kasturi, Kanaka, and so forth. So the pure devotee who has realized their spiritual form, Swarup Siddhi, while in this body, they've realized their Swarup Siddhi, they'll always remain under guidance, waiting for instruction how to serve. This is called proper spiritual life. Therefore, Narottam Das Thakur says, Ashraya loya bhaje, tare Krishna nahi tyaje, arsha more akaran. Those who do not practice spiritual life with some shelter, they live and die in vain like animals. This is not a rebuke or a chastisement or an insult. This is just the mere fact. Our hope, our aspiration to go to that eternal land is by the shelter of the associates of Krishna. This is the teaching of Srila Rupa Goswami, who is Lord Chaitanya's designated messenger, representative. And he says, Krishna smaram janam chasya pristam nijasamanhitam tat tat kata rataschaso kuryadbasam braje sada. Practice by following Krishna's associates. Pristam, those who are very dear to Krishna, you should follow them. Tat tat kata rataschaso, and then hear about Krishna. Maybe Krishna Radha. You can sit here at this couch. Okay. Alright, so it's a very interesting situation. This is the lecture that came up. So I want to discuss this. I hear this from many people. Oh, in my local area I'm preaching, but I don't feel so qualified, and I'm still engaged in mundane affairs. I have a job, I have family. That is not detrimental necessarily if we're in guidance, if we're serving along with senior Vaishnavas. Senior doesn't mean, see, this is now another point here. Saying I am senior. I am senior and I am advanced is different. Advanced devotee and senior devotee are not necessarily the same thing. In the material organization you think, oh, I've been in this organization for 15 years, I am a senior devotee. I have been in this organization for 25 years. I am a senior devotee. I have seniority. I'm a senior citizen. But advancement and seniority should go together, but doesn't always go together. What did Mahaprabhu say is senior? Seniority is based on what? Je bhaje she bhara. Those who have love for Krishna, who worship Krishna, they are senior. Je bhaje she bhara. Abhakta hina char. Krishna bhajana nahi jati kuladi vichar. Before Mahaprabhu, in India they thought, unless you're a Brahmin, you're not senior. But a Brahmin, someone born in a Brahmin family, may be engaged in degraded activities. Ravan was born in a Brahmin family. What were his activities? He was son of a sage. Going out? Okay. This is not... Go ahead. This is not what we consider senior or junior. Jai bhaje she bhara. Those who have the most love for Krishna, they are the most advanced. Now, we should honor all according to etiquette, according to seniority. But it's not like, sometimes I've been in big temples, there's 120 people in Aarti. Whoever takes the Aarti lamp, they're like calculating, they're doing this math in their head. Did he come 12 years and 15 days, but he was 18 days. Then they go to one and they say, and then they pull it back. Here's the Gila. No! This person is more senior. And this kind of math in the head about seniority is nonsense. Okay, you go to sannyasis, you go to senior devotees, you go to elder devotees, you should see, oh, they're Prabhupada disciples, you go to the Prabhupada disciples first. They're Gurudeva disciples, you go to the Gurudeva disciples next. But if you get too much into this, it's also a form of nonsense. Right? Respect, senior, junior is good. Etiquette is good. But if you're thinking, this brahmachari took saffron 1 month before that brahmachari, he's senior, then you're creating this kind of rank hierarchical system that is a form of illusion. Because it's a form of attachment to the ego, the false self. If you can see in everyone's heart who has love for Krishna, who is at what stage of bhakti. But Gurudev wasn't like that. Gurudev encouraged everyone, whatever stage they're on. There's 2 kinds of stages. Baddha, conditioned, and mukta, liberated. Okay? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, he asked Sanatana Goswami something, I want you to remember. Mahaprabhu said, I want you to remember something. Can you remember it for me? Yes, you remember? Baddha ar mukta, falgu ar yukta. Always remember the distinction between a conditioned soul and a liberated soul, and false and genuine renunciation. So these are the 2 levels of devotees. Ultimately, liberated souls, conditioned souls. And within conditioned souls, there's developing stages of life. Kanishta, intermediate, madhyam. Kanishta is beginner, madhyam, intermediate, and uttam, topmost devotees. Now, we should give most honor to the topmost level of devotees. Srila Rupa Goswami advises this. This is what this person is realizing coming to see Srila Gurudev. Gurudev is topmost Vaishnava. So Rupa Goswami says in Upadeshamrita, Krishneti asya gritam manasadrita dikshasti chet prantibishcha bhajantamisham shrushaya bhajana vigyavananya manya nindari shunya hridam ipshita shangalabdhya. You should surrender and associate and surrender everything to the Uttam Vaishnav. The Madhyam Vaishnav offer pranam and associate, serve with. You serve with and you surrender to. Serve with and surrender to. These different levels of Vaishnavas we should understand. But we should go forward and preach. Swami Prabhupada engaged everyone within a week or 2. Go out and distribute books. This is how you become advanced. So Gurudev talks about this now. Gurudev says, you are senior Vaishnav. But the devotee said, no, I don't feel like I'm a qualified teacher or a qualified guide. Therefore, don't be guru. Guru is higher level. Right? You can encourage people, you can help people, you can give books to people, help them advance and say, oh, really you should come meet sadhus? If you can, come to India, meet our sadhus there, or we have traveling preachers. Right? You have to lead them somewhere. Either you yourself can take that with conviction, you can say, I will take you back to Godhead. Dear sir, dear madam, you should surrender to me, I will take you back to Godhead. But you have to be in Godhead, right? So this is this problem sometimes is people pretend or think that they are everything. And this comes about because of ego and pride and desire for position, prestige. Therefore, again, this is told by Mahaprabhu. Very careful about the desire for prestige and honor. Amani manad hoy, Krishna nam sadalade. Honoring others without desiring honor for yourself. Sometimes in the people who are doing too much mental calculus, who is the most senior, are desiring themselves to be senior. Or they're over following rules and regulation. When there's a small group, it's one thing, but I've been there where there's like 200 people. And by the time they figure it all out, the ghee lamp isn't gone out. Right? And they're still thinking, this person come before that person? You know. Okay, so our bhakti can develop if we have simple mood, simple-heartedness. Saralahita hi Vaishnavata. Simplicity is Vaishnavism. You should become simple-hearted. But Gurudev said, you are senior Vaishnava. That means you should go and help. Gurudev mentions this point coming, so we'll read to it. The devotee said, I keep going back and forth. Will I make more advancement if I just concentrate on the fact that I'm a little baby in bhakti? Will I make more advancement if I concentrate on that fact? So bhakti development doesn't mean I've studied this much, I've done this much. Madhurya Kadambini, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes the stages of spiritual advancement and how you can recognize what stage you're on. And so we shouldn't put on the false airs that we are more advanced than we are. It's important. But at the same time, those who are not at all advanced, who don't know at all about Krishna, we can help. Take prasad, read this book. This can help you go towards salvation, liberation. Right? So Gurudev is saying, you can follow your Prabhupada and myself. Both of us are doing bhajan. Sometimes Gurudev speaks very humbly, but sometimes he speaks matter of fact, especially in darshans, when people are asking him for specific help. Gurudev said you should follow your Srila Prabhupada, but at this time Srila Prabhupada had also entered Nitya Leela since 77, right? 17 years. So we're always recommended to be under living association of sadhus. And sadhus are always present. So Gurudev said both of us are doing bhajan and also giving something to others, and also those sadhus who are connected in the same mood, the same line. When I sit at the lotus feet of my Gurudev, I see that I am very foolish, actually knowing nothing. Then, being anywhere else, I see that everyone is sleeping. They don't know anything about bhakti. Not even A, B, C, D. So Gurudev, when he's sitting at the feet of Padam Gurudev, Swami Prabhupada writes this in his purport. A disciple who sees that he is a fool before his guru is himself qualified to be guru in due course. Why? We should always have that mood of humility. A lot of people develop this challenging mood. This is why this topic is very important. People think, I am 2 fingers too short, my guru. If I develop this quality and that quality, I'll be equal to him. Not so easy. Externally, you may speak very nicely, but do you have pure love for Krishna? Are you attracted towards material energy, enjoyment? You see a beautiful woman, you have lust for her? That means you don't have pure love for Krishna. Right? You have either a desire for things in this world or a desire for Krishna. Bhakti Thakur sings, Bishaye je priti bhe achaye amara se mata priti hoka sharane tomara. However much love and affection I have for things of this world, may I collect all of that and place it at your lotus feet. May I develop that much love and affection for you. And in Archan Deepika we pray, Yudavitanam Yutayunim. As a young boy is attracted to a young girl, may I be attracted to you, O Lord. So if we don't have that attraction to Krishna, attachment to Krishna, then how much can we help people? I am drowning, help! And we're on the side of the swimming pool, and we jump into the deep end. I'll help you. You know how to swim? Oh no! I never learned how to swim. Somebody else help us both. And embracing each other, they sunk to the bottom. This is samsara, material life. Sinking into the ocean of material existence. I've seen many brahmacharis this also happen to. I'll help this very beautiful lady. She's so sincere. She wants to develop Krishna consciousness and she's taking shelter of me. I will help her advance. Who will advance? Who will go down? Together? Oh, family life, family life, family life. From a very high position, now you're entangled in material life. Now where are you? Now you're both engaged in material life. I've seen this happen many times. So Gurudev is saying here, according to what Srila Gurudev has taught us, we have to preach. This is our mission of Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told us, you must preach. What do we preach? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And he quotes Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 7.128. Jare dheka tare koho Krishna upadesh. Amar agyay guru hoy tar idesh. Instruct everyone to follow the orders of Sri Krishna as they are given in the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. There are 5 levels of spiritual master. First is Krishna in the heart, Paramatma, the super soul, Chaitya Guru. Then Varma Pradarshaka Guru, someone who shows you the path to Krishna consciousness. So everyone you go pass out a book to, you're acting as their guiding spiritual master, leading them towards the path, showing them the pathway. Varma Pradarshaka Guru. Here's the path in spiritual life. Follow this path. Here are the instructions of the great personalities. By following this path, you can achieve salvation, relation with Krishna. And then he says, Kabuna bharibe tomar vishaya taranga punarapi etani bhave mora sanga. 7:129. If you follow this instruction, your materialistic life at home will not obstruct your spiritual advancement. This person he was talking to was a householder. He said, be a spiritual master. Nowadays, people say, hey, it's a householder. How can you be a spiritual master? That's not according to Mahaprabhu's instruction. Householders are also spiritual master. Whether you are a renunciant, sannyasi, or a householder, or low class or a high class, if you know Krishna Tattva, you're absorbed in Krishna consciousness, you are Guru. Say Guru Hoy, not you can be Guru, you are Guru. Mahaprabhu's instruction. But he says, we will again meet here. Punarapi Pavi Mora Sangha, you will again get my association. Or you will never lose my company. Gurudev would preach and then he would leave and people would say, oh, how do I remain enthusiastic when you're gone? Keep practicing. But that time we didn't have Zoom and online, this and that. This platform is very good. Now people can be preaching all over the world and still getting higher association and guidance and talking, discussing how to practice bhakti. So nowadays we have that technology, but we must practice and follow. Right? So I don't want to go too late. So we'll continue this topic. Gurudev says, let's read 2 more paragraphs. This is very important. Mahaprabhu said, you should become Guru, and on my behalf give the holy name to the world. But in the end of this verse, the second verse, he said, you will get my association. And if you're always preaching and you're always in Krishna consciousness, then you won't be touched by the objects of this world. You won't be desiring material sense and enjoyment. You won't fall down. But you must be in association. Internally or externally, then internally. You must stay in association. You must remember the Vaishnavas. Because you are not yet on that highest platform, so you help people according to your hari-katha, according to your qualification, your level, and then you help them advance to higher association. This is the process. So Mahaprabhu said, you should become Guru, and on my behalf give the holy name to the world. Because I am with you, no worldly maya will come and touch you. But do not think, oh, I am an acharya, I am Jagat Guru. You should think, I am fulfilling the wish of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I am carrying out the orders of my Gurudev. Telling others what I have learned from my Gurudev is also a kind of bhajan. So many of these people who were coming to Gurudev, they were themselves gurus. But they were taking Gurudev association, but were they bringing others to Gurudev association? Taking association from Gurudev, but you should help your followers also receive higher association. If you are going to learn from someone, that means you don't have it all. Why are you going to learn from them? If you know everything, don't go and learn from them. Just help people. Be a Uttam Bhagavat yourself. But you are going for association, and everyone who's with you, hey, this is not for you, this is for me. These are like I'll tell you a funny story to Krishna Lila. One time there was a new gopi, married into Braj. She came to Braj. And every day Krishna would go out with the calves to graze the cows with his friends, right? Pasturing grounds of Vrindavan. So this girl, everyone would come out to the pathway to see Krishna. To give him some drinks, some garland, this or that. Right? Everyone would come to see him. So this girl saw this and she wanted to go see Krishna. For the first time she wanted to see Krishna. How beautiful is Krishna? Her mother-in-law and sister-in-law said, don't go. They were packing up their bags like Cinderella. Aunt, sister-in-law, mother-in-law, they were going. But they said, you have to stay at home. Don't go out. We're locking the door. Right? You're not qualified. We're qualified. Don't go see Krishna. Where are you going? Don't ask us what we're doing. It's not your adhikar. Right? So this is like this. Many preachers, I want to go hear from Gurudev, learn from Gurudev, get some nice katha from Gurudev. But my followers, my juniors can't go. Otherwise they may think there's someone senior to me. I don't know everything. So I'll go secretly. At that time, what is there? The recorder. So we're reading this, right? It's not secret. Our activities are not secret. I'm going for higher sadhu sangha. No one should know. Right? So the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, they saw Krishna and then went back home. But this one new gopi, she found a way. Open the door and stand by the porch. And Krishna, as he was passing with all the calves, he twisted the tail of one calf in the direction that it would run that way, and holding onto its tail, that calf dragged him up all the way to the footstep, the door, up the steps, and then the gopi was standing there, and Krishna was standing in front of her. Krishna pinched her cheek, right? Gave a sidelong glance, looked very sweetly at her, and left with her heart. Then when the mother-in-law and sister-in-law came back, they said, "What happened to you?" She was standing there like dazed, lost, in a trance. Said, "Hey, she must have been bitten by that black snake, Krishna. That black snake, Krishna, must have bitten her." Yes? Bitten by the snake of Gurudev's hari-katha. Now, no taste for anything else. This is Krishna Ras, Sham Ras. There's not a snake. This is a portal to the spiritual world. Enter into that portal of Srila Gurudev's hari-katha. By that transcendental portal, go to the spiritual world. Gurudev's hari-katha is so powerful. They tried to get this girl to do different things. You should churn yogurt. And instead, she churned mustard seeds. Hey, what are you doing? Okay, go and take this baby girl in one hand, and take this pot in the other hand, and go fetch milk, fetch water from the well. She went to the well, and she started tying the rope on the baby and lowering it into the well. The bucket was on the side, because she lost her mind. She lost her heart to Krishna. And everyone said, lali, 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 girl, what are you doing? The water bucket is on the side, and the baby is being lowered into the well, and they pulled it out. So he's just standing there lost. So, that Sham, Krishna, has stolen your heart. So sometimes it's happened with many preachers. They were hearing from Gurudev for many years. Don't go to Gurudev. Don't go to Srila Narayan Maharaj. Don't go, don't go. Don't go, don't go. But then they would come back to their place. Well, what happened to this person? What happened to this person? Their mind is lost, their heart is lost. And by hook or crook, they're going to hear from Srila Gurudev. Many people got banned. Why? They banned Srila Gurudev from preaching the different temples. But you can't, we're not in the age of feudalism and slavery where people are vassals. They cannot leave and go anywhere. But this is the condition. If you go, you can never return. You heard from Srila Narayan Maharaj, you can never come to our center. This is called demonic philosophy. Therefore, because of such activities, there are problems in Vaishnava Sanghas. Because of this politics, because of Vaishnava aparad, offenses towards most advanced devotees, who are favorable, who are serving and supporting our Srila Gurudev, very favorable. So Swami Prabhupada always in the mood of serving and supporting Srila Prabhupada's mission as Prabhupada requested him. Prabhupada said, "Please, you place me in Samadhi, and please, you help take care of my disciples." So it's Prabhupada's instruction on the record. Anyhow, these are different instructions. The point is that we should ourselves come into higher association, be under the guidance of higher association. It's very important. Be under the guidance of higher association, and then ourselves help people. It's not complicated. We should know we are not God, we are the servant of God, and not the servant of God, the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. This is our Vaishnava philosophy. I want to help people advance, I want to preach to them, but how? I have to help them go into higher association. This is our philosophy. Then we can be a baby and also help. Gurudev said, Gurudev is pure devotee, eternal associate of Krishna. And he was sitting at the feet of Bhakta Bandhav Srila Gurudeva and said, I am a fool in front of my guru. But then anywhere I go, I see everyone is sleeping. Yes, Vrindavan, in Times Square, people are awake or sleeping. Right? Sleeping, waking. Walking, sleeping. Right? Full of illusory life, attachment, but sleep in spiritual life. Alright, so this is our morning program. Hope everyone is doing wonderfully. Offer you my Dandavat Pranams. We will be live again tonight. Okay? Panchakalpa Tirubhishta Kripa Sindhuvevacha Paritanan Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Srila Gurudeva Ki Jai. The Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gaur-Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Manju Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna everyone, dear devotees. Let me check really quickly if there are any comments or questions. Sign off. Hold on here. Alright, so we're trying to go live every morning and every evening. We're in the East Coast now. When we travel to other areas, we'll try to keep similar times. We may have to adjust also. But it's my service, and I'm hoping that I can... Oh, we have a question here. There is mic noise like wind. Okay, we'll try to figure that out. How many rounds is 1 lakh? It's spelled L-A-K-H. It means 64 rounds. We need a bead bag, or is it optional? Bead bag is recommended, but it's not absolutely required, but it's recommended for doing japa. Helps keep that sacred space. But you should chant according to your how to increase concentration. Okay, another question. Good. How to increase concentration is try to chant 1 round with concentration, hearing the names, and try to hear hari-katha. Gradually, you can try to increase 1 round, 2 rounds. No need to jump. You should have some specific guidance, some Vaishnav you're following or taking shelter or hearing from, and ask, oh, I'm doing this is my process. Every few weeks, check in. I've been chanting this much, these problems I have, this problem. I want to chant more, but this, they can help guide you to increase your chanting, but also increase your taste and relishment of the process of bhakti. So I'm going to check the mic system and try to figure it out for the next class. Okay? Haribo, Dandavat Pranams. Radhe Radhe. Right? We'll see you again.